So the lovely lady we have in studio right now, her name is Ana Braga. She is an international model. She's been published in Vogue, Cosmo, Playboy, and of course, she's on OnlyFans. But her story is extremely interesting because she used to be in the MAGA cult. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. She used to be a big Donald Trump MAGA supporter, and she has seen the light. And we are going to talk a little bit about that. And Ana Braga joins us right now in studio. Ana, it is good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am
Thank you
doing
for
great.
having me.
Of course, it's good to see you in studio. So do I have that right? I mean, for years, ever since Donald Trump first took office, you for years you were a staunch Donald Trump supporter, right?
Yes, I was.
Why?
Yeah. Well, being a Republican, I'm not a Republican anymore, but and wanting small government. So I can say I've always been more leaning towards like social liberal,
Yeah,
but fiscally conservative. So you're in a Republican Party, you're going to support the Republican candidate. So I felt like that was a given. And not growing up in America, I really didn't know much about Donald Trump, although, the Americans that grew up here, I don't know why they're still in MAGA and why they know about it. But it's
right.
complicated. And also, it's very easy for us immigrants to be duped when he said, oh, Mexico's not sending their best, they're this and that. But then at the same time, you kind of right now make excuses, right? You make excuses for yourself. As far as like, oh, he wasn't being racist. There are dangerous people in Brazil, for instance. There are dangerous people, and what if they come here? I left Brazil. It's very dangerous. So I'm like, I don't want them to come here. So it's very easy for us immigrants to fall into that trap,
Sure.
and believe in and to be scared. It's very easy to scare us. We're very gullible. We came to America and we start believing everything people say. So
Even somebody like Donald Trump,
even someone like Donald Trump, because you're like, okay, this is the Republican candidate
right?
and I'm going to support him. And he's trying to warn us that there's danger coming through the border.
What goes
So,
through your mind when you hear Donald Trump and his base chant out, send them back? In this case, talking about legal immigrants, Haitian immigrants. As someone who is an immigrant yourself, you've made something of yourself, you're a successful person in this country. What do you make of those chants?
I think it's horrible and I get extremely offended. Also, a lot of people in MAGA, because I left MAGA and obviously I'm voting for Kamala, they said, oh, you're going to be deported. I'm like, I'm an American citizen.
Who
Oh,
tells you that? MAGA supportors?
yeah.
Huh,
They said
shocker.
Trump is going to send you back.
Sounds
Your
like sounds like Clay Higgins told you that. Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
right? Your citizenship will be up for reevaluation because that's what we're demanding. And as Americans born here, that's what we want for you to be sent back. And I'm like, but I went through the process. I'm a legal citizen. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's gonna send you back. You're not supporting him. You're a sellout. You're a fraud. That's what they call me. So when I hear Trump and look at these top politicians, even MTG, these sitting people in Congress,
despicable.
senators,
Yeah.
it's disgusting. I'm extremely offended. And I can see now what you guys were trying to warn us.
This country was founded on immigrants. I think what makes America great is not making America white, which is what Donald Trump seems to want to perpetuate, in my opinion. What makes America great is we have people from all over the world that come here, right?
Right.
This country was founded on immigrants and good, hardworking people that want to come to this country, that want a better life for themselves, maybe a better life for
Hmm.
their families, and so on. And you have these, innocent, legal Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, and these attacks just continue. And you have Republicans in office that are telling them to send them back, get them the hell out. I
Well,
am so offended by hearing that, and I'm embarrassed that there are some people that are white Americans that look like me that are making these kinds of statements. It doesn't represent everybody in this country. It represents a small minority, but
it's
this isn't the
also
country that I want to live in.
it's an attack on the black community as well
Sure.
because Haitians are black. So if people are walking on the street, you don't know where they're from. You're from Haiti, you're from Brazil, you're from Africa. You don't know. You were born here. I
Right.
mean, it's disgusting.
And I
It's
have,
scary too, because
sure.
remember we talked about this, the denaturalization. They want to push that. If you they call us communists
Yeah.
because we support Kamala. So if we're communists, they're gonna take my
Yeah.
citizenship away and send me
Absolutely.
back to Brazil. I mean, it's
Yeah.
absurd.
Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of dumb people in our society. Some of those dumb people are people that I've had to work with in the radio industry. Sadly, some, and they're not you, Numchuck. You're great. I'm not talking about you. But there are some dumb people that have no platform anymore. They're not on the air anywhere anymore, and they're desperate to be relevant. And some of those people will make a claim like, oh, well, Anna did this for publicity. Now, obviously, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're very ignorant people. But I want you directly to respond to that. If some MAGA supporter with a 20 IQ, and I'm just, in general terms,
You're being generous.
yeah, I'm being generous and I'm being general. If some MAGA clown with an IQ of 20 with no job, and say, hypothetically speaking, he spent all of his father's money, doesn't have a job of his own, would make a claim like that, what would you say?
Well, I hear that all the time. She's a fraud. She's doing this for, you mentioned OnlyFans. She's doing this just to get subscribers. Look, when I was in MAGA, I lost a lot of gigs. I used to get published a lot, and I started like last, and last, because
So
that
you
was,
lost gigs.
I lost gigs for being in MAGA. So now they're saying that I am a fraud because I'm getting paid by the Democrats. Kamala's paying me. Liberals are paying me. That's why I'm supporting Kamala. And that is not true. There's no money. My page on X, Twitter, I can't earn any ad revenue because it's flagged.
Why
So
is it flagged?
I don't know.
That's very
It's
bizarre.
flagged. Yeah, says you can't earn ad revenue. So I'm there for free to make amends because I voted for Trump. I got people to vote for Trump, and I'm doing this for my country. This is very serious. I'm doing this for free. I'm not getting paid by anyone. Will they believe it? That's their
So
problem.
to a MAGA dope that would, and again, I'm not surprised the people that are saying this because again, they're not very intelligent people, but to a MAGA dope that would say, oh, well, Anna did this for the publicity. You're making the case it's the opposite. You've lost money. You've lost revenue. But again, that won't register with some of these people because they're just not smart
Never.
enough. It's not even worth, yeah,
Never.
not even worth the
Yeah,
conversation.
I just block them now and move on because they're going to believe what they believe, but it's always the projection with them. Every
Yep,
accusation is a confession. Look
sure.
at that guy Tim Pool
Oh, the
and
worst.
Benny. They
Benny
get
Johnson, yeah.
100K a week.
Yeah, it's
I
absurd.
get nothing.
Spreading Russian propaganda, hurting the country, by the way.
Hurting,
And I
yeah,
hope the FBI does their due diligence. I'm sure they will, and prosecute them.
putting us in danger.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's I'm glad you mentioned that. It's horrible. Well, let me just say this. I'm glad there are people like you out there that have the courage to come forward and be on the right side of history, regardless of financial gain or not. You're doing the right thing, and I admire you for that.
Thank
And
you.
you're also very up to date on the issues and stuff. We've had private conversations. You know what's going on in the world. You know what's going on in this country.
I
You
try.
understand. You're very up, and you understand the threat to democracy and what Donald Trump represents. And I appreciate that about you. Not only that, but having the courage to admit, hey, you know what? I was wrong. I
Mm-hmm.
was duped. A
It
lot of
hurts.
MAGA supporters are duped, but they don't have the courage to do what you have done and to come forward and admit it.
Oh, they're petrified. They're scared because MAGA, they're very dangerous people, even if they will act on it or not, but they make a lot of threats.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they're so scared. People deactivate. They make people deactivate. They
Hmm.
tell me if you don't stop and deactivate, we're gonna come for you. We're gonna come to your house. I'm like, pull up.
Yeah,
They're all talk.
I'm sorry you have to go through that. I really
But
am.
that's what they want to silence me and
Yeah.
others. They want to intimidate you.
Do you know who these people are? They're the same people that dress up in their camouflage, who never served this country, who carry their AR-15s thinking they're tough. They're the ones who storm the Capitol screaming, hang Mike Pence.
Yeah.
And then they cry when they have to face a judge and go to jail. And then Donald Trump calls these idiots, he praises them and calls them patriots and hostages. These are the same kinds of
Yeah,
people.
they want to destroy your character. They want to dox you. They want to hurt your family. It's like a cyber terrorism thing, to
Sure.
think, oh, they're going to come here. They're going to come after me. They're going to come after my family.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah. And I'm sorry you've had to go through that, but
Oh,
history
I
will,
still do. They come for me all the time. I block them. They create new pages, and
They're obsessed with you.
they're obsessed with me.
I have people that are obsessed with me as well. You wouldn't believe some of the profiles that are up there, and I just ignore it because they're not worth 5 seconds of my time.
Oh no,
I'm
they want attention,
right, of
because
course.
they are nobodies.
They have no platform. You're so right about
No
that.
platform.
So right. You have a large following. They have no platform. Usually these are people with like 80 followers that don't even put their real picture up on their profile. They're all a bunch of trolls, MAGA trolls that watch their Newsmax and Fox News every night, and they're invisible.
Some have bigger pages though, that
Some
hate
have some
me.
followers.
They hate me, but then you
Yeah.
go on other platforms that they got nothing, and they're still nobody. No one knows them.
Nobody-
They never been published. They never
Yeah.
been on TV. They never been on radio. They never been interviewed.
As I say to a lot of these people, Anna, my last bathroom visit means more to me than any of these people's opinions. That's for sure. What do you say we take some phone calls?
Yeah.
Put on those headphones and let's give our listeners an opportunity to talk with us at 702-221-7283. Numchuck, who are we going to first here? What do you think? I'll let you decide. Let's go to Mike. Mike is first up on PTL. Hi, Mike. You're on with Ana Braga. Go right ahead.
Hello, Brian. Hello, Anna.
Hi.
Great show.
Thank you.
First time caller. Love the show, Brian.
Thank you.
It's a godsend. I got tired of listening to right-wing radio for years, so I'm glad that I was able to find your show, and I've been a listener for about a month now.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. I'm glad you're new to the show, and thank you for those kind words. What's on your mind today? What do you think about what somebody like Ana has now had to go through because she's no longer a MAGA supporter?
Well, it's very heartbreaking to hear, her story, and it's a story that's repeated by many, many others that I know. It's really a shame that there's people that believe that immigrants are the worst people in the world when it's actually those MAGA idiots that are the worst people in the world.
Ana, you seem to have to deal with this. And by the way, thank you for the call, sir, and your kind words. You call back anytime. What are your thoughts on what this gentleman just said?
Well, that's a very nice call.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Most of my callers
it.
are nice and
Yeah.
let me be clear. Most of my callers, Ana, are very informed. I'm very humbled by educated people, informed, logical. Once in a while, I get a caller that is a MAGA caller, and they're welcome to call in. But, I'm not going to let it slide. I'm not going to let them say whatever they want, But most of my callers, I'd like to think, are
nice.
very educated people.
Yay.
But I had a guy named Herb who called in first hour, and he's threatening never to call into my show again. And boy, I don't know how I'll be able to sleep tonight.
Oh no.
I don't know how this show's going to
Call again. Herb.
Yeah. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Why don't we go to Chris? Chris is next up on PTL. Hi, Chris. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind today?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
I don't even know where to start. I agree with everything I've heard in the past half hour, 100%.
Come again? I didn't quite hear what you said there, Chris.
The dogs agree too.
My dog is barking.
Go ahead, Chris.
The mail carrier is dropping off the mail, and the dog is going berserk. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right, my friend. Go ahead. You can start over. Go right ahead.
I said, I don't even know where to start. I agree with everything I've been hearing 100%.
Well, that's very disappointing to hear. No, I'm just kidding, Chris. Go right ahead. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm in a great mood.
No, I agree. I
it's
appreciate that.
It's amazing. It's amazing to look through all of your comments and listen to you and listen to your guests. And I'm just, half the time I'm laughing hysterically. And I just wish I could find more people like you around where I'm at.
Well, that means a lot. Where are you calling from, by the way?
I'm calling from the land of Lincoln.
Gotcha. Well, what do you make of this? Because Ana was telling me that she was, and Ana was telling me that she is so happy that the Democrats brought her in, right? You were telling me that.
Open arms.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, and that's the way I think many on the left are when a former MAGA supporter.
Well, that's how tribalism works.
Yeah,
that's how tribalism works. There's no balance. There's no compromise. There's no meeting in the middle of the aisle. It's just my tribe or your tribe.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad though that There are people that are willing to accept others. And hey, you know what? You supported MAGA, no problem. You're on the right side of history now. And that's what I try to tell people. Don't attack them for at one point supporting MAGA. Praise them for being on the right side now. Because if you start attacking people, they're going to start to get upset, and then they're going to think, okay, maybe I shouldn't vote at all. Right, Anna?
Right, exactly. I mean,
Exactly.
you can't win just with Democrats voting. You can't win with just that. You need everyone voting. You know, if you're not a violent person, I didn't go to J6. Even our friend Pam went, but she wasn't a violent person. If you're not a violent person, people will accept you. But guess what? The violent person, the mean people, they will never apologize.
No, they'll double down and they'll never admit that they were wrong. But we know that they always will be on the wrong side of history. We know that. Number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation is 702-221-7283. Don't be afraid of the microphone, and I promise it won't bite you. 702-2, maybe some of my MAGA callers will. I don't know. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Roy. Roy is next up on PTL. What's up, Roy?
Hi, Brian. Hi, Anna. How are you guys today?
Good.
Good.
The first thing I'd like to say is that all these people who support Trump and people like Clay Higgins, these are the people we should start to consider deporting because they're the problem in this country, not legal immigrants.
Yeah, I agree.
Get them
It's
out.
absolutely disgraceful what they do.
Get them out. All these MAGA Klansmen, like the Higgins people of the world, get them out. Have
Vote
them,
them out.
move
Vote
them to
out.
Gaza. Move them into a
my
cave in Afghanistan for all I care. Put them on a plane with brochures and get them the hell out.
Oh my God.
I mean, just think about it. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Clay Higgins, Cruz, these are the morons we have in the House and in the Senate. And we can't, you need to get a Democratic majority in both. Not that everything the Democrats say or do is right, but today's Republican Party, led by Donald Trump, has turned to pure crap. Yeah. And today, there is no more, they all claim to be bipartisan, but they're all full of crap. All the Republicans vote Republican, the Democrats vote Democrat, and it's virtually impossible to get too much done. Occasionally, they get lucky and they agree on something.
Can we start hey, Roy and Anna, can we start a hashtag on X, Deport MAGA? Can we do that?
Oh my God.
Can we do that? Deport MAGA. I'm going to start that hashtag, and I mean, I do have a following. I don't have, and I don't have the following you have, but I do have a decent following.
My following's not that much bigger than.
But Brian, you got to give me some credit for that. Though.
I will say Roy started it. Hashtag Deport MAGA, Roy, and we'll see if it catches on, Roy. I appreciate the idea. See, I told you I have smart listeners, Anna. See, I told you that. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff is next up on PTL. Hi, Jeff. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Brian? Anna, hello. Anna, first of all, stay strong and don't lose faith in the rest of us. And as far as Clay Higgins and that ilk, America, love it or leave it. Shut the hell up. Now, Herb, the personification of the snowflake. 2 days in a row, Brian. First, he's offended for all Christians because he thinks Orange Jesus is as derogatory as the N-word.
Yeah, let me just repeat what you just said, just so our listeners and Anna. So this guy calls in yesterday, and I called Donald Trump Cheeto Jesus on occasion, and Herb was trying to say that calling somebody the N-word and he being an African American and calling Trump Cheeto Jesus is just as offensive. And I mean, I think it's
my God,
it's so absurd. You know what the thing is? Let me just talk about this real quick, Jeff, if that's okay.
Sure.
When I use the term Cheeto Jesus, I'm not picking on Christianity. In fact, I'm defending it. I am attacking the people who call themselves Christians that look up to Donald Trump like he's Jesus. And if anybody was intelligent enough, they would understand. I'm not mocking Christianity. I'm defending Jesus Christ. And I'm defending Christians because you shouldn't be looking up to Donald Trump like a Jesus. Why is it that these people don't understand that?
But you notice that MAGA has hijacked the Republican Party and the Christian religion.
Right.
They have hijacked everything. That's what they've done.
Right.
They worship, they don't worship Christ. Christ would never be for this.
Right.
They worship Trump.
Correct.
And you know what? If Trump said today, I've done more for Americans than Christ, they would be okay with that. They would say, yeah, he's right.
Some of them think that.
Yeah.
I swear to you, Anna, some of them think
Ugh.
they think that Donald Trump is the next Messiah. So when somebody
Jesus.
calls in a MAGA supporter and they're offended when I say Cheeto Jesus, you know why they're offended? Because they're the ones that look up to Donald Trump like he's Jesus Christ. The N word is one of the worst words in our dictionary. I would say probably the worst,
Horrible.
one of the worst things you could say to anybody, let alone someone who's African American. And for a dope to call into this show and try to compare the two and conflate the two is absurd. It's absurd.
But they think they're oh, the white men are being attacked.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they think they're so like, oh my God, we suffer, we're white, and they want to mix our race, and oh, I can't.
I mean, they don't even understand what the word white privilege means, or in
Oh,
this
no.
case, orange privilege. I don't know. But
Oh my God.
Jeff, go ahead. I'll
And
give you the last
Brian.
word, my friend.
Right. Okay. But today, Herb is through maggot form, just complaining for the sake of complaining. So my advice to Herb, in support really of what you were saying, Brian, is the sooner, Herb, you pry your head out of your ass and call out the scores of people, your contemporaries, Herb,
Yeah.
who are perverting Christianity,
Yeah.
the better off you will be.
You forgot one thing. Make sure he throws away his Donald Trump knee pads too, Jeff. I appreciate the call, my friend.
God.
Thank you very much. 702-221-7283. I'll call him Cheeto Jesus as long as in fact, I'll call him that every day if it bothers people like her.
Yes.
Let's go to Loretta. Loretta is next up on PTL. Hi, Loretta.
Wow, it's me.
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you first, Anna, for stepping out and being whom you are, and the realization, coming into realization.
Thank you.
So I'm a biracial. Thank you, my dear. So I am a biracial woman of Black heritage, and I am married to a white man, and we are both over 50, and I have stepchildren whom are all three white adults. And Brian, I just want to say to you that I am enamored by everything that you say, and you're so on point, and I am rooting for you. And just tell me how to do it. I am rooting for you to be press secretary for Kamala.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
No,
awesome.
I'm not laughing. I'm
Well,
not laughing. I'm not making a
I
joke
really
because,
appreciate that, but a personal friend of mine, Anthony Scaramucci, I'd probably last less than him. I think he lasted 12 days, and Mooch comes on this show a lot because me and Mooch are alike in a lot of ways, even though he probably has about $100 million more than I do. But he's very honest, and I don't think I can put up with a Stephen Douchey, as I call him, these Fox News reporters. I don't think I'd be able to do it. I would treat them like I treat some of the MAGA callers on this show, and then
But
I'd be
that's
fired.
what we need. She's right.
And that's what we need, because it's been so messed up, for the lack of a better word, messed up for so long. And the gloves are off. Take the gloves off at this point.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm going to tell you.
The way it is. Just tell it the way it is. And you're not fabricating anything.
No.
You're just calling a spade a spade.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
If you're a bigot, you're a bigot. If you're uneducated and stupid, you're stupid. If you're brainwashed, you're brainwashed. And if you're a liable rapist and 34 count felon, that's who you are, right? And I try to call them out, and they don't like it. They don't like it. They're it's interesting. They want to call liberals and Democrats snowflakes. They're the snowflakes.
They are.
They think transgenders, the world is following.
Oh my God.
They want to ban books. Don't say it's okay to be gay, because oh my God,
They think I'm transgender.
You're far from that. Let me say that. And I'll say number two, they're transphobic, they're homophobic. And
I'm an ally of the LGBTQ transgender community.
Yeah.
So I don't care if they think I am, or I know I'm not, but that doesn't offend me.
let me tell you something. Most of these people, particularly the men I'm talking about now, that the MAGA supporters are overweight, sitting there on your couch, eating your potato chips on government assistance, watching their Newsmax all day.
They drink a lot too.
Yeah, and right, exactly.
They have a lot.
They have the physique.
I know they do.
Oh, sure. They have the physique of Donald Trump, and they probably haven't seen their own genitalia in 30 years. I'm sorry to give you that image, Anna, but it's true. I talk to them all the time. They're overweight, disgusting human beings who no woman wants to be anywhere near them. Well, I mean, I can't really say that. Maybe, was it Donald Trump Jr.'s Kimberly Guilfoyle? Maybe she would.
Oh
She's
my
attracted
God.
to men like that, but I don't know.
She's attracted to the money,
My
probably.
dear, it's so great to, yes, yes. My dear, it's so great to hear from you. Thank you so much for the phone call and your kind words. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Charles. Charles is next up on PTL. What's going on, Charles?
Oh, Brian, I'm a regular, man, but I felt the need to call in today even more so because, unfortunately, one of the politicians from my state showed his true colors, and I wanted to put that in perspective, if I may, on your show.
Sure.
So Clay Higgins comes from a very small town. It's a gerrymandered district, and like all the other crazies in Congress, they're pretty much insured to be reelected because their districts are gerrymandered. He's a known drunk in our state. Everybody knows that. He's beat his wives. He's pulled guns out on his wives. He's been kicked off of police forces. He has resigned from police forces. He's just a GOP bully, essentially, is what he is.
This
And
guy.
you don't have to watch very many of his speeches to see that he's probably been
he's-
drunk in Congress half the time.
He's a very ignorant man. He has hatred in his heart. And can you imagine that?
Trash.
Yes, trash. And this was a guy who, at one point, as you mentioned, well, was in law enforcement. He had so much power. Why do we put people like this, bigoted and ignorant people, in any powerful position is beyond me. Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party.
Correct. And look, historically, everything that you've been talking about on your show goes back to the fact that all these biases, all this animus is racially motivated. All you have to do is go back to the Lee Atwater interview when the GOP or the Republican Party at that time decided to blame Democrats for the Civil Rights Act and the racism used to fly under the radar. I think what you saw was that once Obama got in the White House and once Trump started to run, it became much more overt, right? And then it became fashionable to be a racist. And a lot of these people say things to get attention.
You're absolutely
I
right.
just wanted to...
You're absolutely right. And good to hear from you, by the way. Great phone call, Charles. And Anna, I want to, Anna, I keep pronouncing your name
okay.
wrong. I apologize. Anna, when Donald Trump for years was saying that Barack Obama was not born in this country, the birther issue, it went on for years. As an immigrant yourself, I know that was a time where you weren't as involved in politics, but I would imagine that had to bother you a little bit, right?
Well, unfortunately, for a while, I was like, why is he saying that? And then why is other people saying that? Maybe it's true. And then my ex at the time said, that is ridiculous. No, don't do that. So I can't lie because I believed some of it.
And your ex was
of
a
the
Trump
stuff.
supporter, right?
No, not really.
Not really? Okay.
But he loved Bill O'Reilly. So it was,
Ooh.
I'm independent.
Another sexual abuser.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre, right?
Oof.
Oh my God.
Bill O'Reilly.
Oh my God. Falafel.
Talk about kryptonite to women. Oh my God. Bill O'Reilly. Oof.
Terrible.
Anyway, yeah.
But I mean, there was a time that I believed some of these things, but then you wake up, it gets old.
It does. And I think many in the country, his shtick is getting old. He'll always have his base of supporters, but a lot of moderate Republicans that I talk to are saying what you just said. This act is getting old. His grievances with every single press conference, every interview, playing the victim when he took a $500 million company that his dad gave him. He's had yes men around him his whole life. He's never worked a normal job his entire life. And all he does is bitch and whine and complain. And I've had it. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Steven. Steven is next up on PTL. Hi, Steven. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
How you doing, Brian?
Good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm from Richmond, Virginia. And I don't go on lives at all, but I was thumbing through some stuff yesterday. And the interview that you done with Don Lemon on yesterday, it was absolutely outstanding.
Well, thank you.
And I think if you could air that somewhere, you know what I'm saying, on MSNBC or wherever, that would be great. That was one of the greatest interviews
Well, I appreciate
have
that.
ever heard
I
in
can
a
tell
long
you,
time.
I will send that Don's way, and me and Don are working together to try to come up with me doing his show and maybe him doing my show on a regular basis. So you'll be hearing more from him for sure.
Yes, it was just outstanding.
Thank you.
Also, one of the things that we got to realize, and I listen to a lot of these lives, what Donald Trump has done, as well as a lot of people are overlooking, he has actually taught Americans now how to continue to lie over and over and over again to the point where they are beginning, where they have always believed their own lies. Also, I listen to some of the lives, and you got people coming on there like MAGA or whatever. All of a sudden, they care about black people being incarcerated, saying that Vice President Harris, she locked up black people and da-da-da-da.
By the way,
when did they start caring about black men?
Which is, by the way, not true. You want to hear a stat? I'm going to give you a stat to both of you.
Yes.
It might surprise you. You know, you hear a lot from the far right. She locked up all these people for marijuana charges. In 6 years, do you know how many people were put behind bars for that reason?
What is that?
45 people. And guess what? Of those 45 people, none of them were arrested for smoking a joint. Some of these people were arrested for making some hundreds of thousands, some millions of dollars growing marijuana and distribution. These were serious charges, and these were not first-time offenders either. 45 people in 6 years. I'm not a mathematician, but we're talking like what, 7 or 8 people a year? That's nothing.
But he's talking about the lies. This is like they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. This is the same thing. They start with a little thing and it spreads like wildfire.
And then our kids in schools are getting bomb threats. Local supermarkets are having to shut down. Churches are having to shut down. Pregnancy centers are having to shut down. And then you have morons and congressmen like Clay Higgins coming forward, telling them all to get the hell out of our country. Geez, I wonder where he got that idea from. Maybe from the orange turd, or this one's for her. Keto Jesus. Yeah.
He normalized that behavior. This is not normal.
Two other things I want to bring up too, and you are masterful at this as well, Brian, and so is your guest. You're very masterful, and I've watched some of the other lives that some of the guys are outstanding as well. You asked MAGA a question. Some of these people are just so uneducated, don't know why they believe what they believe other than stuff that's coming out of Donald Trump's mouth. Yeah. And when it boils down to it, they're just blatantly racist. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
This guy, Donald Trump, has really messed up America. And you know what? I'm a musician, and I play for many of churches. And right now, I'm leaving one church because of this simple fact. I got into a discussion with one of the pastors there, and she started looking at Fox News and talking about abortion. And I'm asking her, okay, if the MAGA and Trump and all of these people care about kids being unalive, what about all of these school shootings? They don't care about kids being gunned down in schools. A life is a life, you know, whether it's
all they want to talk about. If a Democrat or any reasonable person wants to talk about gun control, they will immediately talk about black on black crime and what is going on in Chicago. And I agree with you. It doesn't matter whether it's in Chicago, an innocent person, or a child getting gunned down in our schools. Gun violence is gun violence. We have a problem in this country.
We do.
And Republicans don't want to talk about it. Republicans don't
want to.
Now is not the time, right? Is what you'll hear from so many of these MAGA Republicans.
Every single time.
Yeah, it's terrible. And let me tell you something. It's not Make America Great Again. It's MAWA. Make America White Again. It's MARA. Make America Racist Again. Now, those slogans I would believe to be true. There's nothing about making America great about attacking legal immigrants. It's nothing about making America great attacking brave men and women in uniform, attacking POWs, attacking anybody that disagrees with you on anything, writing love letters to evil, murderous dictators. That's not making anything great again. And when Kamala Harris says we're not going back, we're going forward, this is the kind of stuff she's talking about, right?
Some of the stuff that she's talking about, you know, like it's out of control.
Will you be going to the Kamala Harris rally on Sunday?
Oh, I didn't even know it wasn't. Usually they send me.
So they haven't announced exactly where in Vegas yet, but she will be here Sunday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I will be there.
You'll be
and
there?
I like to meet with my listeners and say hello to them. It's actually kind of cool.
Maybe I'll go with you.
You should. Yeah, we should both go. Absolutely. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Ray. Ray is next up on PTL. Hey, Ray, what's going on?
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Good.
Listen, I'm a black man, live in America, and I'm almost ashamed to say I'm a black African American because I'm telling you, man, I love the work you're doing. I caught wind of your show like almost 3 weeks ago, and it's like I'm addicted. I always get on to see if you got anything new.
I appreciate that. I
Awesome.
appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm watching, and I got so much to say as being a black man in America, but I just don't understand these Republicans and these MAGAs, man. It's like it's a mental thing, and it scares me, man.
You know what
And
I
I'm a
would say
good
to
guy,
that?
man.
You know what I would say to what you just said? Listen, people can have whatever religion they want. I don't want to interfere in their lives, even though they want to interfere in ours. And I don't know if
Right.
you guys would agree with me on this, but I feel like those that are the most religious people, the most religious, some of them have mental issues. Okay. I feel the same way about MAGA supporters.
Very
It's
angry.
a cult, right? A cult. Now, listen, there are wonderful people in this country that are people of faith, and I have a lot of respect for them. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the ultra religious, alt right people, evangelical Christians like the Sarah Huckabee Sanders of the world, who want to attack gay people, want to attack brown people, but
Right.
yet talk about God all the time. Or this guy, Clay Higgins, who literally takes an
Yeah.
entire group of people, calls them all thugs, many of them legal in this country,
Jesus Christ.
and then
Yeah, and
goes
I
in the
heard
back
that
and
today,
prays
and
to
I was
God.
disappointed when I heard that.
Yeah, I mean and then he prays to God, and Speaker Mike Johnson says
God,
everything's
right?
okay. Yeah,
What God?
yeah. If there is a God,
But
trust me, God is not paying attention
Ryan,
to
what's your
anything Clay
guest
Higgins
name
says.
again?
What's up,
What's your guest name again?
Anna.
Anna?
Anna, how you doing? You made the right move.
Thank
You made the
you.
right move.
Thank
Trust
you.
me.
Well, I don't know if she made the right move
Dimit-
meeting me and coming to the show, but she definitely made the right move voting for Kamala
All right.
Harris. That's for sure.
But thank you, man. My eyes is glued on you, brother.
Well, you know what? That means a lot. And I do this show every day because of people like you. And you will always have a voice on my show, my friend. You call back anytime. Thank you so much. 702-221-7283. See, you're getting a lot of love from my listeners. I knew this was going to happen.
Where are my haters at?
Oh, I'm sure there's a few out there. See, they're afraid to call in because they just don't want to be embarrassed. They know when they call.
They're afraid to call because it's always behind the keyboard.
Right.
Even when they have a real photo, I know who they are.
Yeah.
But it's always like that, and
Yeah.
they never want to confront me.
Yeah, exactly. I would think a lot of the men that attack you are usually men that probably haven't been laid in like 30 years, and they attack people like you and these MAGA supporters that way, that are out of shape, unhealthy, that are on government assistance, but they want to
drink
blame.
a lot. I'm telling you, these
sure.
people drink. They do drugs. They're like out of control. But when you talk about religion, the other caller talked about religion. If you go on depending on the attacks, I already know it's going to say Christian, follower of Christ, whatever, God-fearing man. And I'm like, what God do you worship? Because you calling me, I can't even say, they say, oh, you're a prostitute. I'm not. I don't judge anybody how you put food
I think
on
they
your
have
table.
you confused.
I've never done that.
I think they have you confused with Melania Trump. I apologize.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah.
snap.
Go ahead.
But yeah, and they say, oh, your photos are this and that. Well, similar photos to Melania, but she is forgiven, right? Like Trump, the guy cheated on all the wives. The guy, just grabs women whenever he wanted. He did that all his life.
But you know what? I don't attack Melania because of taking nude photos. In fact,
Of course.
any woman or man, if people are paying for it, I have no problem with it. The reason why I have despise for Melania Trump, example, January 6th, she refused to put out any comment or tweet denouncing the violence. She cares more about her golden toilets and her rugs. She sells her $90 Christmas ornaments. Anything that she sells, I would use for toilet paper. She's a grifter. And she puts in her memoir and talks about how I fell in love with Donald Trump. No, she fell in love with all the zeros. That's what she fell in love with. I have
Fell in love with what?
Yeah, I have zero respect for her. Only thing she ever did was she cared about her tennis courts and the new rugs in the White House. She did nothing to help the American people. That's why I despise her. It has nothing to do with her
Christmas.
taking her clothes off. I could care less about that. It has everything to do with her character or lack of a moral compass. And then she talks about, oh, I'm going on an anti-online bullying campaign when your stupid husband bullies people online every day. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Tez. Tez is next up on PTL. What's up, Tez?
Brian, one thing the last couple of days have taught me is you have become quite the ladies' man. You're like the new Elvis. And so congratulations. And Ana, congratulations on getting yourself out of the cult. You know, I hear you guys talking about Christian nationalism, and I really believe that we need to get the hashtag fake Christian going on, because they're anything but like Christ. They're not Christ-like in any way, shape, or form. They're alarmists. They're quick to hate. They vocalize it. They're hypocritical. They go to church and they flip you off for taking their parking spot before they go in and claim that they're praying. So kind of like Clay Higgins, he prayed on it. He prayed to Jack Daniels, right? So Mike Johnson contorting himself to try to make excuses for the blatant, overt racism.
This is a guy who voted for David Duke. This is a guy who said, well, yeah, David Duke is a self-proclaimed Nazi, but he still voted for him for governor, the Klansman. What would you say about somebody like that? Let me tell you something. If Donald Trump on the next debate, if there is another debate, which there probably won't be because he's a coward, showed up in a Klan outfit, many of his supporters would still vote
be
for
like,
him.
oh, he's just joking.
Yeah, it was just a joke.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween. Exactly. They would still vote for him.
See?
These people
They're
are
creative.
Klan cultists. That's what they are. They're a bunch of Clay Higgins. I don't know what else to say.
Well, Brian, if you remember, you can look this up. This is factually accurate. Steve Scalise, when he ran locally in Louisiana, claimed he was David Duke without the baggage. So it's not just one guy from Louisiana.
It wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if Steve Scalise said that.
These people are trash.
He's another despicable human being. And by the way, should we be surprised that Steve Scalise defended Clay Higgins yesterday on the House floor? Yeah, despicable people. Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate you. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Kava. Kava's next up on PTL. What's up, Kava?
Hi, Brian. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
So, hi, Ana, as well. I'm from Ecuador, so I understand what's going on. So, I was going to say I'm extremely proud of you, and you've made Latina Americana proud. And I want to say that MAGA is going to pay for what they've done to this country. Latina Americana is not going to stand by and let MAGA destroy America. We're just not. We're going to get out there. We're going to vote. And Kamala Harris is going to win. Simple as that.
Let's vote.
That's right, Kava. I appreciate your call. It sounded like your phone was cutting out a little bit there, a little distortion, but
thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your kind words, Kava. Thank you so much. Good to hear from you. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Andrea, who's next up on PTL. Hello, Andrea.
Hello. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
I just recently ran across you. I'm a big fan. I love everything you're doing.
Thank you.
I am currently living in the Deep South. I transferred to Gulf Coast, Mississippi for my job. I am an avid civil rights activist. I'm a member of the NAACP. I am a white woman married to a black man, which in itself presents some ridicule
from the right.
But,
I would say most people on the left would not
in the deep
would
South.
Actually, yeah, in the Deep South too. But most people on the left, I would think, would praise you and think it's a wonderful thing to have a biracial family, and I think that's great. But let's be honest, the hate and the people that give you looks, I would imagine, and I'm sorry you have to go through that, are not people on the left. They're not Kamala Harris supporters. Let's be honest, they're Donald Trump supporters.
Right. So here's my concern. I am a Kamala Harris supporter. I've been Democrat all my life. However, I am married to Cornel West's Cornel West's nephew.
Wow. So maybe you can get me Cornel West on the show.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but if he was doing a little better in the polls, I might consider it. But
yeah,
he's a liability right now.
Right.
But anyway, I'm out and about in the community, and I wear my Kamala T-shirts. And I was subject to some hate. Somebody keyed my vehicle in the grocery store parking lot.
Oh my God!
Are you serious?
Which I'm dead serious.
I'm so sorry.
But you know what? It's not going to stop me. I'm going to keep going.
Now, can I ask you,
being in public.
what did somebody just see you wearing a Harris shirt? Like, why? What caused them to do that?
Yes.
You think?
Yes, I got out of my car. I had my Harris T-shirt on, and it wasn't 5 minutes. I came out, and somebody had keyed my car.
See how cowards they are? They won't do it to your face.
It's
always
bad.
Unbelievable.
But what I'm finding a lot is I'm being approached by a lot of Black people. The town that I live in is 95% Black.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being approached in the public saying, oh my gosh, I love your shirt. You must be very brave. I can't wear something like that.
Oh, look at that.
And it just amazes me. When is somebody going to stop the hateful rhetoric? And when are people not going to be afraid anymore?
Well, I think it'll start. Here's the best way I can answer that question, my dear. And I am so glad, appalled by somebody keying your car. And you do sound like a very brave woman. Here's the best way I could answer that question. It will start when Donald Trump loses in November. It starts there. It's not going to end there, but it'll start there where you'll have less and less, I think, bigotry and hatred, or at least people showing it publicly, right? But Donald Trump needs to lose in November. And I am worried. I'm not going to sit here and say that I am overly confident. She had a great debate, but I am still worried. This is a very close race.
I'm very worried.
Yeah.
This is not in the bag.
No,
we
it's
have
not.
to show up.
Yeah.
But it starts with her wearing a T-shirt. Maybe your neighbor will see you, a friend of yours will see you, and you can, everyone starts wearing the shirt.
Right.
Look, we're in the West Coast. For us, it's different. We have a lot of diversity. We have more like a liberal, towards leaning liberal or liberals, West Coast. I never been to like the deep South. I could only imagine.
Confederate
but
flags.
She has a
what
lot
type
of courage.
Country are we living in where you can't listen? You could be wearing a Donald Trump shirt. I'm not
going to do anything.
I'm not going to key your car. I might look at you and say, well, you look like this or that. You're a moron, but I wouldn't say it. I would keep it to myself.
I would ignore it.
Yeah. And just move on with my day. What type of country are we living in where the former president of the United States says, get them the hell out when talking about legal immigrants?
Calls us enemies.
Right. And says, get them the hell out while the crowd chants, send them back. His rallies are Klan rallies, ladies and gentlemen. These are not normal, everyday, good, hardworking Americans. When you chant, send them back, you are a bigot and a racist. You know what? All of you MAGA morons that chant that stuff out, I pray to God for all you MAGA Christians out there. I'm praying right now. So Mike Johnson would be very proud of me. I am praying for all of you bastards out there that chant, send them back. I hope all of you are put on a train and sent to Afghanistan or Russia and never come back. I pray, God, I'll pray to Cheeto Jesus, okay? Please put all of you MAGA morons that chant, send them back, on a plane or a train. Have Ron DeSantis give you all pamphlets, okay, that say you're not allowed back into this country, okay? I pray. That's my praying for the day, Anna. That's my praying, and I stand by it. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Karen. Karen is next up on PTL. What's up, Karen?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hey.
I can honestly say that I when I first found your show, I love your show so much. I try to make sure I catch it every day. I don't care what I'm doing. I got my earphone, my earplug on. And I'm trying to catch you every day because I really love your show.
Well, that means a lot. Thank you so much.
Anna, I really hope that there are more people like you that just really aren't saying that they're going to vote for Kamala because they're afraid, but I do praise the fact that you came up in the public and made how you feel and just to get rid of those people. It's just really sad. It just really is sad.
Appreciate
that. I didn't, I always voted, but I didn't really get passionate about voting until Obama. But I didn't see the hatred until Trump. I really just think that this world is in trouble.
Yeah, I really was able to see more when Elon took over.
Yeah.
It all came to light. The free speech.
Yeah.
They don't hold back anymore.
Yeah.
There's enough data. What MAGA? If you're listening, MAGA, what are you still doing in it? Come on,
Here's
people.
something else
Come
too.
on.
The fact that Elon Musk would allow a tweet from Clay Higgins. And by the way, that was nice compared to some of the other hateful tweets I see about legal Haitian immigrants. The fact that is even allowed on his platform says everything you need.
care?
It has nothing to do with freedom of speech. It has everything to do with almost endorsing bigotry and hatred when you allow people with huge platforms to say things like that.
NASA contracts. That's what he wants.
We're going to have to do history, make a history and vote blue because we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
We're in trouble if Donald Trump wins in November. I agree, but I think there is a pathway forward for the future with Harris. I do believe that, and I appreciate you, and I am glad there's people like you out there that listen to this show. I hope I'm not costing you money. I hope you're not doing work and I'm distracting you. I don't want that to happen, but I appreciate you listening every day, my dear, as I do with all my loyal listeners. Thank you. See what I mean when I say my listeners are
they're lovely calls,
educated and very informed people on the right side of history for the most part. 702-221-7283. Denise is next. Hello, Denise.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Ana.
Hi.
How are you? I'm from Long Island, and I'm an immigrant myself, so I'm a legal immigrant, but, I'm European immigrant with some Jewish heritage.
Well, you better get your head examined if you don't vote for Donald Trump. I'm just kidding. That's what he says. I would say that.
Yeah, no, my head's fine. My head's on straight, and I'm all the way with Kamala. So
good.
Yes, and it's good to see Anna's, got the. I have to move because I hear myself on your radio.
Oh, you got a little echo there. Yep.
Yeah, I can't understand these people who, you tell them something like Project 2025. Oh, that's just a bunch of Democrat propaganda. Trump has denounced it. He knows nothing about it, blah, 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 and
just like Agenda
so I just
47.
tell him, have another hit of your Colt 45 Kool-Aid and, keep believing Donald Trump.
They haven't read that, and they haven't read Agenda 47 because it's pretty much the same thing. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I'm glad that there are people like you out there, and we have to do our job come November. And when and if that does happen, we are going to have a big celebration on the show. We're either going to have a big celebration on the show with all of my listeners, or we're all going to be very depressed. It's going to be one or the other.
God, no.
I hope it's not the latter, but I
want to
appreciate.
Celebrate.
Yes, let's hope that we can celebrate. I don't know. Am I allowed to drink on the air? I might do that the day after if Kamala wins, and I might.
Or you show up like hungover.
Yeah, or hungover, one or the other. Yeah, 702-221-7283. Let's go to Valerie. Valerie's next up on PTL. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
Valerie, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, go right ahead.
Okay, this is the first time I've seen your show, Brian.
Oh, wow. Where have you been all my life?
In Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, well, thank you for finding the show. I hope you enjoy it.
What I want to say is I have a quick question for Ana.
Mm-hmm.
Ana, are you related to Sonia Braga?
No, I'm not. I get that a lot. I'm not. It's a very common name in Brazil. Braga is very common.
For the record, I'll make it about myself. I am definitely not related to Ben Shapiro, that little weasel.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, just to be clear on that. I get that. Are you related to Ben Shapiro? No, that guy's the opposite of me, that little
Can
weasel.
You imagine?
Oh, my God. I want to get in a boxing ring with that guy. That's somebody I know I can take. I can't take a lot of people. I can take Ben Shapiro.
I can take him, too.
Yeah, you probably could. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, what I wanted to say was I've always disliked Trump. Always, always, always. I mean, I'm a New Yorker, ex-New Yorker, and I have some of the same problems that he has as far as having no filters.
Yeah. But it's not.
But I want to say that I've hated him. I've been scared of him.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the what is it? The Project
2025. But I just want to say this. It's not about not having a filter. It's about having a moral compass. You can be honest, and maybe some people don't like what you have to say. I don't think most of us have a problem with that. What we have a problem with is the hateful rhetoric, the bigotry, and the lies. That's not necessarily not having a filter. That's just not knowing how to tell the truth, right?
Lies.
Yeah. I mean, that's all he does is lie.
Yeah, and so does MAGA.
Yeah.
They lie.
They lie for him.
They lie, and they lie about everybody that they don't like.
and they don't have any facts to
Oh, yeah.
back
Kamala
up
slapped her
anything.
way through. I'm a prostitute. I'm a transgender. I mean, they lie about everything. And I think it's projection. A lot
I think
of
it
these
is.
people.
And then you have the Mark Robinsons of the world who attack transgenders, and then it turns out he's the one that's watching
I'm telling
transgender
you.
porn.
I'm telling you, they like it.
Some of the people that are the biggest anti-LGBTQ people are usually people that are gay themselves, and they're afraid to
Absolutely.
come out. And I really feel sorry for them. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you would like to be a part of the conversation. I believe our next caller, if I'm not mistaken, is Robert. I also remind everybody to check out my new website, pushingthelimits.live. Again, pushingthelimits.live. Robert, thank you for calling into the PTL radio show. What's on your mind today?
Not much, but I want to thank you for all your hard work, man, and keeping these people honest.
Thank you.
It was your help, man. I started writing poetry, and it's all policy based. This one I want to do for you, if you allow me, is I call it MAGA the Clown.
I'd love to hear it. Go right ahead.
Okay, so there was once this little clown who wore his colorful little hat. The difference between this clown and the many I have seen in this journey that we call life is the venom he would spit was full of gluttony and hate. The dreams he would speak of were for his golden calf. Sued more times than the Bible has books. Misogynistic in his ways, he'd grab him by the puss.
All right.
I think it's got a good ring to it, my friend.
I like it.
Thank y'all.
Keep writing.
Robert, write me another one every week. That's what I want you to do. I think we disconnected with you by accident. Robert, I appreciate that.
Oh, my goodness.
I would like you to call back with a poem every single week, and I promise you I will air it and I will repost it, Robert. We hung up on you by accident. That was our fault. My apologies. Please call back. 702-221. I'm inspiring people to write poetry.
That's nice.
I kind of like that.
Inspire people.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Starting something here.
Look at that. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Carrie. Carrie is next up on PTL. Hi, Carrie. What's going on?
Hello. I really, really enjoy your podcast. I really love it. I'm calling from El Paso, Texas, and I've been wanting to let you know. Donald Trump has yet to pay our city for his campaigning that he did here back in 2016. He still hasn't paid.
Wow.
And just a couple of weeks ago, I saw in the local news that they're, trying to file a suit for him to pay. And then this Walmart shooter, I just heard that he's not going to trial until 2027.
Well, that's absurd. By the way,
something, and I believe that Donald Trump, because of his hatred that he spewed back when he was campaigning, I mean, this Crucius guy, I mean.
So let me bring people back.
He was a martyr for him.
Let me bring people back to that Texas El Paso shooting. In this Animals Manifesto, he referenced Donald Trump and Donald Trump's rhetoric, partly for why he decided to kill a bunch of innocent brown people in a Walmart. And then when Governor Abbott, also known as Governor Abhole, who is a disgrace, was asked about this shooting and asked about gun control, he did what all these right-wing morons do, talked about God and thoughts and prayers, and says, now's not the time to talk about gun control. You have one of the most despicable governors in the entire country.
Exactly. Him and Cruz. I can't stand that, man.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Part of this is the enabling because of Donald Trump's hateful rhetoric and the fact that coward governors like Governor Abhole does nothing about it when it comes to gun control. He literally went into a Walmart killing as many innocent brown people as possible, in part because of Donald Trump's rhetoric, just like the Haitian immigrant stuff. And it's it's so despicable, my dear. And I'm just going to continue.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I live like less than a mile from the border fence. I see that fence every single day. I see that fence, and it's just disgusting,
It is,
I've seen these immigrants suffering.
Atrocious.
You're absolutely right, and it is.
It's a monstrosity over
when
there.
you listen to these MAGA Republicans talk about immigrants, whether legal or not.
Like
they don't want people,
animals.
Yeah, they don't want people like you in this country.
As long, this is what I forgot to say, as long as you bash where you come from, bash who you are, pick me, you know, talk bad about your community, either if you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're gay, if you're bash. That's why when you see black people, gay people in MAGA, it's because they're putting themselves down.
Yeah.
They're bashing themselves, like kind of like Candace Owens. That's why they love those people. Oh, we accept you because you don't like where you came from.
Right.
You don't like who you are.
Right. Exactly.
So you can't, we feel bad for you, so we accept you.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If Donald Trump does lose in November, it's going to be because of people like you, people that maybe have seen the light, that are on the other side now, voters that maybe didn't vote for him in 2016, voters that did vote for him in 2016 and maybe even 2020. It's going to be because of people like you and moderate Republicans and independents. That's why. And I want to be clear on that.
But Brian, one more thing, like I tell women, when you go into that booth, either you're married to a MAGA, it doesn't matter. No one's going to know who you're voting for. So vote for Kamala, please, because there's nothing about that is pro-women in MAGA.
Right.
Unless you elevate the man, you worship the man, there's nothing for you there.
Right.
What's in you that is causing you to be okay with the mistreatment?
Agreed.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Well, Ana, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll definitely love to have you back. And maybe I can get you a media credential to go cover the Kamala Harris rally. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
but
let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I appreciate you being here.
Thank
It's been a lot of fun, and I think my callers appreciate you being here as well.
They're
and
lovely.
And hopefully you'll come back soon. You're welcome back.
Yes,
You're welcome
thank
back
you.
anytime. Great for you to be here, Ana Braga.